started in corrections in
Right.
'83.
Nice. Thank you. Yeah, so
And,
in 1983, I got hired by the Genesee County Sheriff's Department, and it was right at the time they went from jailers to correction officers. So they were referred to as jailers prior to me coming.
Oh.
And then in '83 they switched, around '83, probably '82 they switched to corrections.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a corrections officer for 4 years at the Genesee County Jail. And I tell people that was really a great opportunity for me because I learned how to talk to people. I learned how to get resolve conflicts. Because you think about it, in a jail, it's steel and cement, and it's not a place that you want to have to be having physical confrontation. So you really learn about people, and you learn how to treat people with respect, and you learn how to handle yourself so that you could deal with certain situations.
Yeah, you just said that was your schooling.
Yeah, it was.
For 4 years, really.
I look at that as my college.
Right.
And then when the city police hired me in '87, I came out and I was already had a good understanding of different people that had been around that I'd been dealing with. And so they knew me, I knew them, and I'd like to hope they knew I was fair.
Right.
And so it made my job easier because when they saw me, sometimes it helped relieve situations because they knew it wasn't going to be a bad situation.
Right. So you already had experience with a certain person.
Yeah.
Right. And you've always been like that, though, like through your whole career here. Like, people know you, right? I mean, that seems to this day you're like that.
Yeah, I'm fortunate. I don't take credit for it. I'm fortunate that people have been very decent to me and that I can repay that. And I understand when I don't look at people as like trouble. I look at people as like, I don't think they're a problem to solve. I look at situations where people are going to crisis and they have times of crisis. And in the police work, that's where you end up meeting them or have to deal with them as in crisis. So it's best to help them through that crisis. And I did it long enough to know that there's going to be another day. That we might be in crisis today, but tomorrow is going to be a better day.
Right.
And so you could offer that and say, like, this isn't where it has to be. It can get better, and we can get help. And I think having that ability to offer that and to know the resources, and there's a lot of resources in this community, to offer those resources that I could help and offer help. And it wasn't me alone. I mean, I knew the resources. The resources of the people I could name in this community to help are innumerable. And I was able to reach out to them for help.
Right.
And so I think that helped in my career.
Right. And you seem like, you've kind of you kind of make inroads when you're here so long. I mean, you were here 35 years, right?
So if you count the jail time, 36 years.
Okay.
So I knew people, then I knew their children, then I knew their children. And I think, and I don't want to act, I'd like to be humble in this and say that I think people were able to tell their people that you could trust me.
Right.
And I think the officers I work with, I try and explain that to them. Anybody that I had a chance to train would say, listen, this isn't about today.
Yeah.
This is a long run game where how you treat someone today is going to matter in a month, it's going to matter in a year, it's going to matter in 10 years. So if you plan on being here any amount of time, every day is going to count for how people are going to perceive you.
Right.
And it's going to help you down the road to offer and be your best than to have conflict with people, because that's just going to follow your whole career.
So you're leaving. There's a lot that goes out the door with you. There's a lot of experience going right out the door right here.
People tell me that, but I watch the people that are taking over for me, and I wonder sometimes if they're looking at me saying, like, do you know what you're doing?
Really?
So, yeah, absolutely. So I wonder, like, what I have, I don't know if it's viable today. So I think the younger officers that are coming up have a good handle on the situation, and I think people are probably better out of hands. I think, police, most police officers all police officers can leave at 20 years, and I think that's for a reason. You got about 20 years, and then maybe it's time to leave.
Right.
And so I was able to squeeze more time out of it, but it was something I liked to do, and I felt I had a purpose, but I really feel like it's time for someone else to take over.
Yeah, so when did that big light go off in your head and go, okay, it's time?
I think you see it, on a daily basis, you start seeing things changing, and you see that you start trusting that the young folks have it, and you start being able to let go, thinking that, well, I don't need to do this, someone else can do it. So you're hoping that that's the way it goes.
Okay, so you feel confident, and you're feeling like you've done what you need to do, and you're ready to hand over the reins.
Right. Yeah, I think I got to a point where it was time. Where I felt that way.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add that sticks out in your 35 years or 36 years, long time, that sticks out in your mind that you want to just mention?
I don't have one particular incident. There's several that culminated in that molded things. So I don't have one particular incident. I have so many that come to mind, and a lot of times I don't even like to talk about them because it tears up old wounds for people.
Right.
Something that maybe I thought was important, and you talk about it now, there's still somebody trying to heal from maybe that event that happened. So I want to respect the people that I've dealt with and that I've built relationships with, and not tear up old wounds.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I have so many. I can't look. There's no place I can look in the city where I don't have a memory of something. And if I see a house or I see a street, it evokes some memory or more than one memory. But and I'll share them with people individually, like when we're talking.
Right,
but you just don't know what nerve you hit with someone when you talk about something that was really, like I said, they might have been a crisis, and to me it might have been a big event.
Right.
But it might be something that you just don't want to rehash. So I want to respect that.
So, how do you feel? What kind of emotions are you going through after this is your last day? You're walking out of here at 3 o'clock.
Well, there's so many emotions. I have a lot of time to deal with them now, so I will have time. I'd like today to be happy and not get emotional at all.
Right. What are your plans after you leave here?
So I need just some time to figure it out. And my wife and I she's recently retired, so we're kind of trying to figure it out. So we don't have any big plans. We're going to stay in Batavia, and anywhere I can help, I'll look to help, and that's our plans for right now.
So are you still looking to stay here in this area?
Yeah.
You're not moving away?
No.
Right.
We're right here. We live in the city, and we're going to stay.
Okay. So you're just not sure wherever your path leads you right now?
Right.
Okay.
But I knew it was time to step away from the police work.
Yeah. It's a tough job. I mean, 35 years is a long time.
Yeah, it is. And it's what you make of it too. And so in a perfect world, I'd like to stay, but I think I say this, and I don't mean to be trite about it, but the best example I have is when you pull a box out of the cupboard and there's an expiration date on it, and you go, that's probably still good, and you go ahead and eat it. I think there's an expiration date on me, and I think I could probably keep going, but I think this is getting questionable. So.
Any words of advice for the officers that are here?
Just to really understand, everyone you deal with has a family. Everyone you deal with could be your family. How would you want your family treated? And I know there can be tensions, but everyone has a story, and just be respectful of their story.